But if you do go to the game, what would the temperatures be like? Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray for a quick look at the forecast. Hey, Sharon.
Well, hello. Yes, we have some rain out there tonight and still that chilly weather as temperatures are in the 40s, and we have light rain coming down as well. You can see this line of rain that's been pushing through Corpus Christi and heading to the northeast. And then we have light showers out to the west that will continue through the night as they'll be on and off. But right now it's a good steady rain. You can see just south of Corpus Christi through Sinton and up to Rockport. This again, it'll move through within about an hour, and then we'll have more showery weather overnight with on and off rain and drizzle into tomorrow morning as an area of low pressure aloft continues to pull to the east and a cold front approaches. This moves through tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll start to dry out. And good news, for the game tomorrow evening, it does look dry but chilly. As far as those rain chances, the best chances tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow, turning to more showery weather and spotty drizzle, and ending as we get into the afternoon. And we're not going to get a lot of rain out of this. We're looking up to a quarter inch of rain. Best chances with more likely rain is to the coastline with spottier rain inland. I am going to track the weather through the weekend and show you when we warm up when I come back.
All right, thank you, Sharon. A man trying to get out of the cold ended up stuck in a manhole. This morning, a Haas Middle School student called for help after hearing a man yelling. Police say the man was trying to warm up when he crawled into the manhole. Police add the man was suffering from hypothermia and was taken to the hospital. An officer took quite the fall while trying to make an arrest. Around 11 a.m., officers pulled over a vehicle on Laredo Street. Turns out one of the men in the vehicle was wanted. As police tried to arrest him, they say the suspect hit one of the officers, then ran into a building on Agnes. An officer had to go up a ladder and get the suspect, yet ended up falling about 10 feet through sheetrock. The suspect was arrested and will face a number of charges. The officer is recovering at the hospital. A mother is asking for help after she found out her 3-month-old baby will need a helmet to properly shape his head. Here's Brenda Matuti with more.
Jason is 3 months old, beautiful and perfect, and a little different. But with a little help, what others see as a disability could be corrected.
His ears are uneven. His eyes, they go, one goes one way and the other one stays a certain way.
Jason was born with what doctors call flathead syndrome.
When we went, they said it was severe flattening. He's 1 out of like 24%.
And the only way to fix it is with a series of special helmets. The first helmet he'll have to wear for 7 months and then wear the second helmet for another 7 months. But his mother, Angela Ochoa, says each one will cost $2,000. And that's not the worst part.
And Medicaid won't help pay for it.
The shape of his head could affect his sight and hearing in the future. And Jason is already in physical therapy because the muscles in his neck don't allow him to turn his head both ways.
It's stressful thinking that my son's not going to have enough to get the helmet. And I just want him to get better.
So this weekend, Ochoa and her family are holding a fundraiser to help raise the money to buy Jason the 2 helmets he needs. And they're asking the community for support through either their GoFundMe page or to come out to their event. Reporting in Beeville, Brenda Matuti, Action 10 News.
The family will be selling barbecue plates along with having a bake sale at the Sutherlands in Beeville on Saturday starting at 11 a.m. Well, coming up on Action 10 News at 10, we have updates for you on several troubleshooter cases, plus the first public impeachment hearings are now in the books. The latest on the new evidence that will be surfacing when we return. We have new information on a few troubleshooter stories we've been reporting. Here's our Andy Lascano with more.
Let's start with Lupe Nieto's story. Remember? Said a big old truck was driving down the street, snapped the cable wires leading to his house, and damaged some of the siding on his house. He wanted somebody to accept responsibility for the damage and fix it. Turns out the wires belonged to Spectrum Cable. They claim they were unaware of the problem until we contacted them. Now they've acknowledged responsibility and have told Mr. Nieto, we'll fix everything. How about Danny Schrader's story? A couple of years ago, his brother hired a business to pave his driveway, paid him more than $14,000, but look, it was already cracking and he wanted them to come back out and fix it. But nothing happened until the troubleshooters contacted A&D Asphalt, and today, Mr. Schrader tells us A&D sent somebody out. They did a great job. The driveway looks beautiful now. Case closed right there. And remember this rental house on Virgil Street that Tammy Cantu and her family were living in? Lots of mold, lots of holes, other issues. Miss Cantu says she called us because she couldn't get the landlord to make the necessary repairs. She also admitted her rent was late. So the day our story aired, Cantu received an eviction notice, and today she tells us she's had to move out. As always, whenever you need help from the troubleshooters, just send us an email to troubleshooters@kztv10.com. Andy Lascano, Action 10 News.
Still to come, police need your help solving a murder. It's all in our Crime of the Week. And an online portal is trying to help children stay out of the foster care system. Hear how it works next. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist with a look at the forecast.
And we've broken some records with this Arctic air that came in. I'll show you those. We'll talk about the warming trend ahead and what you can expect for the weekend coming up.
Now, Action 10 Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray with your Doppler 10 weather forecast.
Well, much of the nation has felt this Arctic air, and including all the way down to South Texas and to the border. In fact, we had a record low yesterday morning, 2 days in a row now with the coldest days that we've seen on record. A record low high temperatures, and today only reaching 45 degrees. And we are still in the 40s out there right now. Current temperatures 43 in Corpus Christi and only 45 at Rockport. It's a cold rain coming down as we have some light rain moving across the area. Right now, it's more steady from Corpus Christi northward, and it turns more showery to the west and southwest. But it'll be on and off through tomorrow morning. We'll continue to even have some drizzle out there as we have two things happening: an upper wave moving across the area and a cold front, which is going to approach tomorrow, moving through in the afternoon. Now, this one's not very strong. So fortunately, after that moves through, it is going to cause our wind to pick up a little bit tomorrow from the north. Yeah, that cold north wind. But it's not going to cool us down much. In fact, we start warming up by Friday and into the weekend. But in the meantime, we've got some rain moving through. It isn't very much. We'll stay under a quarter of an inch with the highest totals right along the coast. And those showers in on and off, like I mentioned, through the overnight hours as temperatures dip down, even down to 39 by 7 in the morning at Beeville and near 40 to those 40s closer at the coastline. Now, tomorrow, the showers will taper off and end. Again, we'll see those ending, possibly though some drizzle in there early in the day. And then after we get past 3 in the afternoon, that front starts to move through. You can see the clouds start to break up, and we've got a dry evening, but a cool evening too. And then again, that wind is going to pick up a little bit tomorrow. So some showers and drizzle in the morning, and then it's overcast and chilly with a cold breeze blowing tomorrow as that north wind picks up a bit to 15 miles per hour, and those temperatures stay only in the lower 50s for high. So still way below the 77 where we should be this time of year. For tomorrow evening's Miller-Bucks game, oh, it looks chilly out there, but fortunately the rain ends and it's dry, but that wind will be cold, so you'll certainly want to bundle up if you're heading out to cheer on the Bucks. All right, the weather pattern, you know, we've had a lot of these cold fronts going through recently, and it's kept us in these below average temperatures, but it looks like it's changing a little bit. In the upper atmosphere, here's that area of low pressure that's bringing our rain tonight and tomorrow morning, and then behind that we see a ridge building in the upper air, and that's going to give us some milder and drier weather and sunshine finally by Friday and Saturday. However, the next one, this wave here, this upper level wave moves in Sunday night and into Monday morning. So it'll bring with it another chance of rain, but fortunately the air won't be too cold behind this one. It'll only cool us down just a few degrees, and then we start a warming trend as we get into next Tuesday and for the rest of the week. So with that, the temperatures are going back up. In fact, we could even be a little bit above average here by the middle of next week before another cold front comes in and drops us just a little bit. Nothing Arctic here, just some regular old cold fronts moving in. Once we get past the end of next week and through the 27th of November, we have a better chance of above average temperatures. The weather pattern's leveling off a little bit, and we won't have as many of those fronts coming through. So the end of November is looking a little warmer. Here's your 7-day forecast brought to you by AutoNation. AutoNation will purchase your car even if you don't purchase a vehicle from them. Shop now at the AutoNation lot near you. So all in all, we're in for some warmer days ahead. A very nice weekend ahead. Look at all that sunshine. We need that. Friday and Saturday, it looks bright out there. More clouds moving in Sunday. That next front brings a chance of rain by Sunday evening and overnight, cooling us a little Monday, and then we warm up nicely through the middle of next week.
Public hearings were made today in the House impeachment inquiry. Lawmakers heard perhaps the clearest link yet between President Trump and an order to investigate the Bidens. Take a look.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony...
Bill Taylor, the top American diplomat in Ukraine, testified publicly Wednesday. A member of his staff overheard a phone call between President Trump and Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland. Taylor told lawmakers the president asked the ambassador about the investigations.
Following the call with President Trump, the member of my staff asked Ambassador Sondland what President Trump thought about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff pushed further.
I take it the import of that is he cares more about that than he does about Ukraine. Yes, sir.
Republican Jim Jordan tried to dismiss Taylor's testimony as hearsay.
You didn't listen on President Trump's call and President Zelensky's call?
I did not.
You've never talked with Chief of Staff Mulvaney?
I never did.
You never met the president?
That's correct.
This is what I can't believe, and you're their star witness.
I know nothing about that.
President Trump said he couldn't recall his conversation with Sondland. He also told reporters he didn't watch any of the testimony, despite tweeting about it all day.
It's all third-hand information, nothing direct at all. It can't be direct because I never said it.
Both Bill Taylor and fellow witness George Kent called the freezing of aid to Ukraine a threat to U.S. national security. Kent also singled out the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani.
In mid-August, it became clear to me that Giuliani's efforts to gin up politically motivated investigations were now infecting U.S. engagement with Ukraine.
Kent and Taylor were both asked if they were never Trumpers. Both replied no. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And back here at home, a man was sentenced to 14 years in prison for his part in an armed robbery and shooting at a Stripes store. 25-year-old Leonard Reyna pled guilty earlier this year to the crime spree that happened last year. Last August, 3 armed suspects robbed a jewelry store in the Trade Center. A teenager was caught, but an hour later, the other 2 shot a man when they tried to steal his truck at a Stripes. U.S. Marshals are still looking for Carlos Moreno. A testimony in the case for former Corpus Christi police officer Norma DeLeon began this afternoon. She's charged with impersonating a public servant and official oppression. During opening statements, prosecutors said DeLeon used her position and resources as a police officer to track down her boyfriend's niece. They also said in November of last year, she asked 2 officers to meet her for a welfare check on a child. She has then passed herself off as a CPS worker. The child's father later learned DeLeon was not a caseworker. DeLeon's attorney says she never identified herself as a CPS worker. It's been 3 years since a 19-year-old was fatally shot. It's our Crime of the Week. On November 13th, Christopher Colton Cavazos was found shot to death inside a vehicle on Weber. Police later released this video that you see here on your screen. It's of a vehicle that was on the scene before the shooting. Investigators are looking for any new information that will help Cavazos' murder and give his family justice. If you know anything about the murder of Christopher Colton Cavazos, call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS.
I'm Captain Monica Rios, Nueces County Sheriff's Office, and it's time for the Wheel of Shame. This is your chance to make some extra cash by getting these guys off the streets and behind bars where they belong. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Here's some of Nueces County's top 10 most wanted fugitives. Whatever fugitive the wheel lands on, Crime Stoppers will increase that reward to $500 for 1 month. And the wheel has landed on Brent Sinjansky. Brent Sinjansky is wanted for aggravated assault with deadly weapon, assault on a security officer, and possession of controlled substance. His date of birth is March the 8th, 1994. He's approximately 6'2", 170 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information where we can locate Brent Sinjansky or any of the fugitives on our wheel, please call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS. For a complete list of all Nueces County's top 10 most wanted fugitives, go to kztv10.com.
And another Wheel of Shame arrest this week. The Nueces County Sheriff's Office confirms Andrew Armaniz was recently arrested. The wheel never landed on him, but he was wanted for evading arrest with previous convictions. Since the Wheel of Shame began, 397 arrests have been made. Nueces County has 400 children in their foster care system. Action 10 News reporter Crystal Dominguez tells us about the online tool that is helping families stay together.
If there is a child in need, a caseworker will put in a request using Care Portal. Churches will then check to see what that child needs and respond using the online platform.
If a child needs a crib, and that is what's going to reunify possibly the foster child to their biological parents.
Susan Klaus, Agape Ranch Executive Director, says there are currently more than 400 foster children in Nueces County. She says Care Portal plays a big role in preventing kids from getting into the foster care system. She says since the program was introduced in 2016, they've helped more than 1,000 children.
That's potentially 1,000 children that could have gone into foster care that are not in foster care because of the needs that we were able to meet.
Care Portal is available in Nueces, Aransas, and San Patricio counties.
We would love the Care Portal to be part of every church in the Coastal Bend.
Right now, there are 22 churches involved in Nueces County, 8 churches in Aransas County, 6 churches in San Patricio. Care Portal is vetted by CPS workers, counselors, and the Children's Coalition. It's not a wish list, but a real need.
We look often at mission trips across seas, serving other countries, and sometimes we forget that there are needs in our own backyard.
In addition to assisting with material things like strollers and car seats, churches also offer emotional support. Grace Point Church joined Care Portal last month.
And we are very excited that we just had our first response that we fulfilled. We gave a stroller to a single mom with young children.
Crystal Dominguez, Action 10 News.
And people who are partnered with the church can contribute to the Care Portal. Those churches that are in town that are interested in getting involved can visit our website at kztv10.com for more information. Del Mar College hosted a Geographic Information Science Day. We'll take you there when we come back. Don't go anywhere.